You know, there's this old cliche in fantasy sports that nobody wants to hear you talk about your team, bro. And for the most part, I agree with that. I don't care what you're doing with your team. I care about my team. So I'm not gonna sit here and tell you guys about my team. Instead, I'm gonna tell you guys a story about the league and the idea of competition and fairness. So for a little bit of context, I run a league that I've been in for about 5 years now with some of my friends and some of my cousins. And for the most part, things have gone smooth. But one year, somebody did something that wasn't necessarily against the rules, but it felt like more than just gamesmanship, if you know what I'm saying. It didn't feel like they were competing fairly. It felt like what they were doing was um, trying to win by any means necessary, and it kind of left a bad taste in everybody's mouth. But how about instead of me telling you guys a story, I'll let the story kind of tell itself, and then I'll let you guys decide whether or not you think what happened uh, was cool or not. You know what I'm saying?
One player from the league, I guess, had given up on his team, on his league, on his season, and was trading away his best running backs to Cal in exchange for mediocre players, and this guy who was trading away his best players revealed to us in a group chat that he had received sports jerseys in exchange for these players. So there were sort of dealings behind under the table going on, and not only was that an unbalanced trade, but I mean that's completely that's straight up cheating right there.
I mean, I get it. You want to keep everything fair for a competitive balance, but again, I go back to then you should have just drafted better, bro. So even if you're negating every single trade, you're still upset that his team is unfair or that someone has an unfair team. Then what? You're gonna veto to kick him out of the fucking league because he drafted better than you? That's some straight bullshit.
Like they don't know football. They do not know football. They veto to veto. They ignorant when it comes to vetoes.
The veto rule in our league in fantasy football is good for the league because what it does is that it prevents unfair trades from being made. I think some trades can be they might be unbalanced, and you can have a great player being traded for a not so great player, but like sometimes the two people involved in the trade, one person might not be as savvy as the other, and this prevents us from this prevents one player from taking advantage of the other by having the rest of the league, all the other players in the league, oversee that trade and make sure it's a fair and balanced trade.
I'll keep it a buck. Some of the trades were a little ridiculous. But with that being said, why you mad? Because you can't draft correctly. Because another dude drafted better players than you, you're mad. Come on, son. Draft better.